Woo! Up. Nice. Get that off. Tuesday. Oh gosh. You know it's not Monday though. I freaking love Mondays. That's okay. It's still Tuesday. We have plenty of the week, and today I want to cover something that I think will help you find the person who you really want to talk to, saying, hey, come with me, follow my movement when it comes to health, right? We have a lot of avenues that we can use to achieve health, acquire health, maintain health, whether we're talking diet, exercise, chiro, the list goes on, right? Just like we talked about in previous Facebook Lives, how many supplement companies are there? Just in the nutrition space, how many supplement companies are there? There's a crap ton. So what I want to do today is share with you exactly how to find that who you want to talk to. I understand you want to share it with the masses. If you've watched the previous lives, you know the Fusion of Innovation allows you not to have to do that. You can go pinpoint exactly who you want to talk to. And a lot of times, a chiropractor is going to have something that is good enough to sell an offer. They're going to have a message that's good enough, but finding that who, just lining all three of those things up certainly matters. So I'm going to show you how to find the who. Okay, so if you're watching this live, go ahead and comment below, hashtag Team Live. If you're watching the replay, hashtag Team Replay. The reason we'll do that, the more likes and comments we get on our videos, the more it pushes it up in the algorithm, the more we can help each other. And that's exactly what this group is all about. That's why I just spill the beans in this group all the time. That's exactly what I want to do. So I'm going to make sure that that is stayed on Facebook. It's been a little quirky lately. Yeah, what's going on, Isaac? Glad you're here, man. There's a little bit of a delay between me doing a Zoom, and the reason I'm doing a Zoom is because I want to do some screen share. And so I'm going to show you that here in just a second, but I'm going to bounce back and forth between Facebook and you can see my peeps. Yeah, man, Team Live. Yeah, awesome. Love it. Let's dive in. Okay, let's share my screen. I'm going to whiteboard this out. All right. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, so we've talked about having, in previous Facebook Lives, we've talked about having the three markets. Most any business falls within the one of three markets, right? And if you remember the three markets, they're pretty easy, right? Your product, your thing is probably going to fit in one of these. Not all products fit into these three categories, but your sales message always must fit into one of these three categories. So we're talking health, we're talking wealth, and we're talking relationships. Or I kind of slurred that. That's all good. Okay, so notice these circles, these markets are also, we call them oceans or neighborhoods, communities, right? So people are in there, right? And they're in that community, that neighborhood, trying to achieve health or wealth or relationships. So all these three markets, also remember, they're also desires. These are the three core fundamental desires that we all face on a regular basis, right? And if we're talking red ocean versus blue ocean strategy, the red ocean is a heavy competition. There's fighting, there's blood, and so it's a red ocean, right? Well, if we can get out of the red ocean and into a blue, then we don't have any competition. It's just ours. There's no competition whatsoever. So we're trying to pull the person out of that bloody red ocean. So we got to use the red ocean. It's certainly important. We got to pull them out of the red ocean into more blue. However, there is a sequence that falls in between the red ocean. I'm going to have to draw this out. It's going to be kind of tough. Change this. I think this is blue. I don't know. I'm colorblind. Oh, good. All right. So I'm kind of dashing my blue ocean. Right. So I've got my blue ocean. There is something that happens right here. Right. So our product, our sales message can be good enough. Right. But our who we're talking to, we want to line up all three of those things. And there's something that has to happen in between, okay? And I'm going to draw it. White. I'm going to draw it like this. Okay, so there are 4 steps. And if you're watching this live, go ahead and comment below. Hashtag 4 steps. 4 steps that you've got to go through to find exactly who you want to talk to. Okay? Hashtag 4 steps. So we're going to say 1. I'm a visual person. I like to learn visually. I like to teach visually. That's why I want a screen share. Old Zuckerberg makes it hard. God, freaking Zuckerberg. Blame him for any problem you ever have in your life. So if your auto is bad, God, freaking Zuckerberg. It's his fault, man. Always blame him. Fun. Okay, so 4 steps. So what are they? So we're going to go through these 4 steps. So there are 4 things that you've got to know about the person you want to talk to, right? And so the first one, we've already done a training on this. So if you've watched all of them, you're certainly going to know about the personas in that bloody red ocean, right? So if we go and look at that bloody red ocean, so in this market right here, so people are trying to achieve relationships or trying to achieve health or wealth or whichever market, right? It doesn't really matter for this illustration. But in terms of that person trying to achieve or buying or using that vehicle, so if we're in health and it's we're talking nutrition, they're trying to use that protein shake to achieve health, or they're trying to use that exercise equipment as a tool, as a vehicle to achieve the desire, right? And the desire is what? Health. And so there are those people in there, and there's also 3 personas of that bloody red ocean, right? There's the person that freaking loves that bloody red ocean. Oh, this is the protein shake I like. You'll never convince me of anything else, right? It just becomes a feature battle, feature, and it's exhausting. And you never really want to talk to that person because you're never going to convince them. So I don't even try. There's that's the type 3 persona. The type 2 persona is what? The person that had success. Hey, well, I like this protein shake. I've tried all these others, but I like this one good enough. It gives me the results good enough that I'm looking to desire. And it's not giving me a pain point or problem for me to question this protein shake, right? So that person is really going to base their decision making on price and value. And then there's the number 1 persona, right? That's the person, man, I'm taking this protein shake, but I freaking hate it. Or I got headaches, and I'm taking this Aleve, but I freaking hate it, right? So that's the person to talk to. Hey, you don't like taking that Aleve? Follow me. You don't like your protein powder, your protein shake? Hey, there's another way. You don't have to taste all those gritty, grimy ones that clump up and all that stuff. There's a totally different way, right? That's an easy way for writing copy and sales message and headlines, hooks, headlines, sales message, promise, all the same thing. Hook, headline, sales message, sales promise, right? So that's the very first thing you've got to figure out. That number 1 is figure out that number 1 persona. So the number 1 persona of red ocean market slash sub market. Okay. So that's the number 1. You've got to figure that out. You've got to figure out what vehicle, what tool they're currently using to get that desire, but they freaking hate it. And the reason they're still using it, they're still upholding that belief system to use that thing, that protein shake, that Aleve, whatever the thing is, because they don't know of another way. That's typically the scenario. A lot of times, more often than not, it's, hey, I just don't know of another way, right? And I'm going to jump back over here to the Book of Face, see if there are any questions. If you have questions while we're doing this live, go ahead and comment below, and I'll try to answer those as quickly and as effectively as possible. If you're watching the replay, still ask your questions, and I'll come back later and comment. I'll reply to you. That's the best way to do it. Comment on these posts. Don't send me a message. Comment on these posts because I'm not going to see your message. Too flooded with that. Okay, cool. Excellent. All right. So that's number 1. You've got to figure that out. Okay. And once you figure that out, so they're in this bloody red ocean, but they just don't know of another way. They're also going to have some false beliefs of 3 things in particular. They could have a whole laundry list of these things, but 3 things in particular. They're going to have the biggest they don't consider it a false belief. It's just a belief to them, right? If I said, hey, what's your false belief? You say, I don't have any. Right. You don't see it as a false belief. It's just a belief. They're going to have a belief system about that tool, that vehicle that they're using to get their desire. And they can have a false belief. Hey, I just don't know of another way. Well, that's a false belief. There could be another way, right? Aleve for the headache. Hey, you don't have to do that. There's another way. You don't have to be dependent on the pill. Chiropractic. They didn't know of that, right? They had to switch vehicles. So they're going to have a vehicle false belief. And the false belief in this red ocean is, I don't know of another way. There is no other way. It's just the way it is, right? That's the vehicle, the tool to get them what they desire. That's the false belief. They're going to have a false belief about the vehicle, and they're going to have a false belief about something here too, right? And then something here. What are they? So the V, and then they're going to have I, the internal hangup, right? I don't have time to go figure out another way. This is the protein shake, right? I don't know of another protein shake. I've looked, I've searched everywhere. There is no better one, right? So at that point, they have a false belief. Hey, this is the best there is. And frankly, there could be one that's way, way better. They just don't know about it. So what is their internal hang-up? What is holding them back between the ears to keep them in that red ocean, that ecosystem, that neighborhood, that community? What's going to keep them there about that vehicle? And what's that internal hang-up that they're going to have typically is, I don't know of another way. That's the typical internal hang-up for basically any industry. So it becomes really easy when you see it through this lens. Then they're going to have something around them, that resource. They're going to have a hang-up about one of the resources. And the typical ones are time, money, energy, support, right? Do I have enough gas in the tank to be able to get somewhere else, right? So they're going to have hang-ups about this red ocean submarket, but they're going to stay there. And what's upholding that belief system? The rest of the community in there chattering about it, and this person not being able to see outside of that red ocean into your blue ocean. Okay, so at this point, they're on the fringe. So it's just that little tight area. They're going to be just right there. That's all I want to talk to you. So for me, sorry, my nose has been running all day. For me, I just want to talk to that small, that tight little subset within the chiropractic community, because I want to share marketing strategies for chiropractors. Now, I don't want to talk to every chiropractor. I don't want to talk to the chiropractor that's happy where they are. They love doing spinal screens. They love doing lunch and learns. I don't want to talk to that person. That person's not for me. I want to share a totally new and innovative way called online sales funnels. I want to talk to that person. How do I know that they're going to want that? Because they're sick of the other methods. They're tired of doing spinal screens. They're tired of doing lunch and learns, right? To attract new patients in their office. They don't want to do that stuff anymore. Well, that's just a small subset. For your chiropractic clinic, who is this person? Man, I'm taking this Aleve. I just don't know of another way. There is no other way, right? So that's their internal belief. I don't know of another way. External, I don't have time to go figure it out. Okay, so that's the vehicle, internal, external false belief. They don't see it as a false belief, but it is a false belief. Now, here's the interesting thing, is this. There are also, oh, come on. They're going to have this. They're going to have the same thing about your new opportunity. Hey, there's another way. And as soon as you show them that other way, because they're looking out, they're on the fringe right there. They're looking out, trying to figure it out. I don't know of another way. I really don't have time. But they'll peek out there once in a while and say, hey, is there just, can I see anything? And so when they see their thing, your new opportunity, they're going to throw their hands up. Walls, that's not for me, right? So the vehicle, it doesn't work. Chiropractic doesn't work for my headaches. My situation is different, right? And so the thing that I'll have to combat with my business in terms of marketing is, well, sales funnels, they don't work. It's a scam, right? I've got to combat that. And then they're going to say, they're going to have internal hang-ups. Well, it doesn't work for me. My situation is different, right? That's not going to work for me. My situation is different. Their internal hang-up, I don't know how to build sales funnels. And their external belief system, when they see my new opportunity, is, well, I don't have time to do all that. Boom, insert me. I do it, right? So I have programs that I can teach you how to do it, and then I have a done for you program. But I want to take that person from that red ocean, and I want to bring them all the way over here. But I've got to realize that there are vehicle internal false beliefs of the red ocean and the blue ocean. And that's the tie on each end of the rope. This is what anchors your red ocean to their blue ocean. And the thing in the middle is something really interesting. Watch this. So this is really going to be V. That vehicle doesn't work for me. I don't have the time for that. The sales message is really going to hit on I, the internal hangup. I don't know how to do that. And so what do? I show them how to do it. That's exactly what this whole Facebook group is all about, right? So the biggest one is I. So which one am I hitting on in this group? I'm teaching you how. Therefore, you're equipped with the knowledge. Why do you think I made a Facebook group? I mean, here we are. Hopefully, you don't like me any less. But that's exactly what I'm doing. I have to combat your hang-ups here. I don't know how to do any of that. I don't know how to drive Facebook ads. I don't know SEO. I don't know funnels. I don't know how to build a funnel. I don't know how to write copy. I don't know how to make a compelling sales message. So what do you think all my videos are about? That, right? So what can you do? The exact same freaking thing. Go do it. Go do it for your community, right? So they're going to have hangups about the vehicle chiropractic. They're going to have hangups about resources. Gosh, I got to come to your office all the time. But the biggest hangup is here. This is the biggest one. And if you can find that who you want to talk to, you've lined up your sales message, the new opportunity, your offer, and you just go talk to that one person, that number one persona, the Bloody Red Ocean submarket, right? It makes it real easy because that educational bridge gets real small. That's why I can have tremendous success with a small audience in terms of a Facebook group. But we've had tremendous success and it's been great. You can do the exact same thing. So model exactly what I'm doing. I'm begging you, model exactly what I'm doing right here. Publish regularly, teach those people how and what, all those kinds of things, and you're equipping them right here. And then they're going to know too much not to gravitate to the new opportunity because they freaking hate taking a lead. This is a huge hack to the game, by the way. Like, if you're not publishing, what the heck, man? What the heck, man? That's how I encourage you. You got to publish. You got to get over it. It'll change your life. Let me go over Facebook. See if there are any questions. This one. Cool. All right, let's keep rolling. So, where have we gone thus far? We've talked about number one. We got to know the number one persona of the Bloody Red Ocean, right? Number two, we've got to know this. Come on. It's not clicking very well. Zuckerberg, man, I got to be able to click in here. Come on. The red ocean, blue ocean, vehicle, internal, external, false beliefs. Okay. Now, number three. This one's probably, these two are probably the easiest to do. Number three, all we got to do right here is say, all right, what is there, as Russell Brunson from ClickFunnels, he'll call it the origin story. And he will literally line it out. It is on, here it is, 8 questions. 8 questions, there's an origin story. That's how you write a sales message. 8 questions. So talking about the desire or the backstory, your desire, the internal, external, the wall, the epiphany, the plan, the conflict, the achievement, the transformation. You got to know it, know it, know it. And when you know it like that, boom, 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 right? And you know it that well, then you can join the conversation in their head. Hey, you tried that protein drink? Yeah, man, I tried that one too. It was real gritty, getting my teeth, and it stuck. It kind of gave me bad breath, and I didn't like it, right? I can't kiss my wife. Oh, man, you got bad breath. Yeah, I hate it. I don't really feel like I'm getting the results with that one. Yeah, I tried this other one. Totally different. I don't have any of that. Ooh. That right there, I joined the conversation in their head, right? So when you go through, and I'm going to do a formal training on the Epiphany Bridge, just join the conversation in their head. And what's the conversation in their head? Probably your same experience. Because here's the interesting thing about the profession of chiropractic. By far, the vast majority of people that enter chiropractic school is because of a positive experience that they had with it. That's it. Right? Is that the same for medical school? No. Is it the same for dental school? No. Who likes to go to the dentist? Right? It's not the same. But for chiropractic, they had a profound experience. Me too. Why do you think I became a chiropractor? That's my story. Well, I was doing all these things. I was 19, right? Had all these problems with my back. Broke my back on 3 separate occasions, 2 different diseases. I'm taking 17 different pills every day. But I don't know another way. Right? Join that conversation in my head. Hey, there's another way. You don't have to go through all that. You can get back to doing your sport that you love so much. That would have been very compelling, very motivating. So their story is probably similar to yours. If in fact you went to chiropractic school, you probably had some level of an experience. Well, what was your experience? So at that point, the origin story is their story. So you have a story, how you got into chiropractic. Theirs is actually going to be similar. Not that they are going to enter chiropractic school, but having the positive, profound, life-changing experience through chiropractic. Chiropractic is done for them. So there's an origin story for them, as well as you. Oh, by the way, there's actually an origin story for the market. That would be a totally new training, but figuring this out blew my mind. There are actually 3 origin stories. Just figure out, hey, your origin story is really going to tie in very nicely, very closely to theirs. So what were the things that you were thinking of and experiencing and feeling pre-chiropractic? That's their current story. So if you can talk to that person, that number 1 persona, and get into their head, join in that conversation. Hey, you're dealing with this, tired of doing that, frustrated with this. Boom. Easy hack. This is really how you write your sales message. You need even copy in your funnel or your Facebook ads or whatever, however you're promoting yourself, right? You like to show us, I'm getting fired up. Now, gosh, I'm getting all winded. But my run was good today. An awesome run. It's hot outside though. It's all good. I love it. So number three is what? Origin story. Where they originally, right? And where they are originally is probably just a chapter or 2 behind you and mine. Ooh. Did you hear that? Did you catch that? You have to stop and rewind if you're watching the replay. They're usually, the person you want to serve on the highest level is probably just you a chapter or 2 ago in life. That's number 3. Number 4, before any sales message, before any funnel, before you make any appointment with anybody, you need to know these 4 things. So to recap, number 1 is knowing the number 1 persona of the Bloody Red Ocean submarket. The number 2, the Red Ocean, Blue Ocean false beliefs of all the vehicle internal and external. They're a little bit different, but it's the tie on each end of the rope. And the biggest thing in that middle, right? That internal hang up. Because if I can tie this together, I can join the conversation in their head in terms of their origin story, but I've got you. Got you. Right? Number 4, now just kind of figure out where they are. And the way to figure out where they are, we do this thing called Facebook, right? I want to know their addictions. And interestingly enough, average American checks their phone 73 times a day. And typically, what are people doing on their phone? There's an addiction there, right? They're getting a hit of dopamine. Remember dose? They're getting a hit of dopamine. It's usually in the form of a distraction. And what is the typical distraction? Consuming content. So if you're watching this live, yeah, it's totally a distraction. It's a good thing. I mean, you're learning. I mean, you're doing it on another level, but it's typically a distraction. Hey, I want that distraction to be constructive for you. That's why I do trainings, right? Instead of just shooting the breeze, I want to do trainings for you guys. But that addiction, where are they getting their hit of dopamine? And it's usually consuming content. So if I'm talking to the number 1 persona of the Bloody Red Ocean submarket, I know their vehicle, internal, external, false belief of the Red Ocean, of the Blue Ocean. I understand their origin story because I've been there too. And I know where to find them online because that's their addiction, distraction. And it's usually consuming content. All I got to do is what? Publish. If you're not publishing, God, freaking publish, please. I beg of you. Your funnel success will hinge completely on your publishing. If you don't publish, your funnel will not work. It doesn't. If you publish, your funnel can suck and it still works. Convert like crazy. It hinges on what? You publishing, right? They've got to know, like, and trust you. The only way you're going to do that is getting in front of them. We are not in the age of information anymore. It is the age of attention. You've got to get their attention, and you've got to get it regularly, right? You probably watch something for just a little while before you decide to take action or buy it or whatever. Well, they've got to see you regularly. So number 4, addictions. I want to know their addictions. What is their distraction? How are they distracting themselves, Facebook. That's an easy one. That's kind of across the board, right? And so what do? I feed the addiction constructively with trainings. My eyes are watering up. Sorry, guys. Whew. But yeah, if you know these four things, the number one persona of the Bloody Red Ocean submarket, you know the Red Ocean, Blue Ocean false beliefs, you know their origin story, you know their addictions, you know where they're distracting themselves, you absolutely can go find that person and say, hey, follow me. And what are they going to do? Follow you. It's that easy. This is a huge hack. When you look through this lens, like you can't unsee this anymore, right? You just can't, and that's actually a great thing. This is very powerful stuff if you use it. The only way I know you're using it is if you publish it. I'm going to come back to the Facebook real quick, see if there are questions. And if there's not, I'm going to be done for today because I got to do some funnels and training calls. But the 4 steps before any appointment, any sale, any funnel, know these 4 things, and you know exactly who to talk to, how to speak to them, get them moving, get them to know, like, and trust you, become a raving fan, and buy everything that you have to offer them. I hope this was a benefit to you. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and comment below. #awesome. Go ahead and comment below. #awesome. If you have questions, go ahead and question down here so we can all learn together. I will reply to your questions. Other than that, we'll crush it Tuesday.